Hi everybody. Today I'm going to show you how to copy view filters between views in Revit. And we're going to use Python and Revit API for that. It's not very complicated, but there are a few steps I want to explain. So let's just jump straight into this and we're going to begin this lesson. Right here I have a project and you can already see there are some colors and I already have some filters applied right here. And our goal is to take all of these filters and paste them in other views. For example, that one. Right now there are no filters, so we're going to try to bring it here. And later I show you how to paste it into multiple views as well. I already prepared here a PyRevit button, and if you are new to PyRevit, don't worry. It's very simple to create your own extension using PyRevit. You just need to create a folder structure and PyRevit will do the rest. And you can watch this tutorial where I'm going to explain everything you need to do and provide you a starter kit. And once you're going to create your button, you can hold Alt, click on it, and it's going to open the location where the script is located. We can open the script and we're going to begin coding. So at the moment, there are a few things. For example, here is the name of the button, UTF-8 encoding for the script. Here is the Revit API import, and then our two variables. Doc represents your Revit project, and UIDoc represents the UI interface related to your project. So let's just write the steps that we're going to do. First of all, we're going to get views from where and to where we want to copy our filters. Then we're going to kind of extract the filters. And lastly, we're going to paste these filters to other views. So overall, that's not complicated, and let's just begin with the step number one. To get our views, there are different ways to do this. We can use filtered element collector, get all views, filter out all the view templates and so on, or we can use kind of pre-written function inside of PyRevit. For that, we're going to write from PyRevit import forms. And then I'm going to write view from and view to. I'm going to use these forms, and then there's a special one called select views. I'm going to paste it in both cases, and this is going to create kind of a list form for where we can select the views that we want. There are a few things we need to keep in mind. For example, if you have everything set up correctly, you can use Ctrl-Q in PyCharm, and you will see this kind of doc string about this function. In there you can see all the arguments like title, button name, width, multiple, filter function, doc, and use selection. In our case, I'm really interested in maybe a title, and especially I'm interested in the multiple. Because in the first one, right here, multiple should be false, because I only want to get filters from one single view. And in second one, it's going to be true. It's true by default, but let's just specify so we know that here it's false, here it's true. Then in the title, we're going to write something like select view with filters. And then here we're going to write title, select views to paste filters. All right, that should be enough for now. And let's just kind of copy and see what we get. So print view from, and we're gonna print view to. This is actually gonna be multiple, so let's just make sure that it's written here views. All right, and that's pretty much the first step. Let's just go and test it. I'm gonna click here and see what we get. So select view with filter, and I wanna look for L5, and you can also notice that there are many views with the same name L5. There's one for the area plan, actually two for area plans, one for the ceiling and one for the floor plan. Keep in mind, in Revit, you can have the same view names across different view types. So in my case, I want to take the floor plan. Now it asks me to select multiple ones, and this time let's take L4, and I'm actually going to select all of them. Why not? And when we're going to click select, we're going to get these print statements. The first one is going to be just one view, and the second one is going to be a list of different views. So far, it's exactly like we wanted. Now I'm gonna comment out this one by holding Ctrl and clicking on this kind of slash. And we're gonna go to the next step. We're gonna come back to this maybe later because I wanna show you how to kind of make it more custom, how to create it actually using filtered element collector. But for now, that's good to go. Now for the second step, we need to extract filters. So first of all, let's get our filter IDs. And for that, we're gonna use view from, and then there is a method called get ordered filters. Doesn't take any arguments and it's going to return you a list of element IDs of the filters, if there are any applied. Now, once you have your list of filtered IDs, we can actually convert it into filters. And it's going to be convenient to read their names and check something. So we're going to use here a list comprehension, and it works the following. First, we're going to return filter ID for filter ID in filter IDs. So we create our for loop right here. And then in the beginning, we specify what we want to return. We don't want to return just the filter ID. Instead, we want to use doc get element filter ID. So this is going to be the element that's going to be returned. And this is our for loop. This is how list comprehension works. Now, once we're going to get all filters, I actually want users to select what filters you want to copy. Because sometimes you might have 10 different filters, but you only want to copy maybe 1 or 2 with specific kind of overrides. That's what I want to do here. So we're going to write here selected filters. And this time we're again going to use the form from PyRevit. Actually, let me open PyRevit Labs. And in here you'll see PyRevit developers documentation. I think it's that one with the keyboard icon. Let's click on that one. And it's going to take you to another page. Now, in here, I want to scroll down until I can see effective inputs somewhere here. And in effective inputs, there are going to be a lot of code samples and forms that you get. Because with PyRevit, you can just write a few lines of code and you can get a functioning form. Right now, I'm interested in select from list or something like this. Where is it? Right here, select from list. I click on that and that's exactly what I need. There are different ways to use it and you can see here as well, you can provide a dictionary, a list and this and that. I need this example right here. So let's just copy that and I'm gonna paste it here. So in this example, we have some kind of options and in our case, it's gonna be filters. So we're gonna remove that one and we're gonna paste here filters. Then res is the result. In our case, it's gonna be selected filters. Let's just replace it. Now, in the example, you can see there's multi-select equals false. Actually, that's going to be true. Then the name attribute is the name. It's exactly what we need for the filters. It just means that inside the list, it's going to make for filter in filters, and it's kind of going to display in filter name. If you're going to provide here something like, I don't know, EF, it will try to get filter EF, and if it doesn't exist, you're going to crash. So make sure you provide here something that already exists for your elements. The button name is going to be select view filters. That's it. And we don't need that example in the end. Now, next, let's just write for filter in selected filters. And we're just going to print filter name. And also here we're going to write selected filters. Now let's go and test it. I'm going to open Revit, click here. So from where I want to copy my filters, it's going to be L5. And to where, kind of doesn't matter, but let's just say here. And now we can see this. It's going to be called user input, which is not good. We're going to replace it. But here you can select all the filters. Filter A, B, C, D, and E. Let's just say all of them. Select view filters. And these are the filters that we selected. So by now we can select view from, views to, and our filters. Lastly, we need to actually recreate these filters in the provided views. Let's comment out this part by holding Ctrl, clicking on slash. And we're going to go to the step number 3, paste filters. And first of all, we're going to begin by creating transaction, because in Revit API, you cannot make any changes to your projects unless you use transactions. Transactions are like guardians that protect your projects. So I'm going to write with transaction, document, and then the name of the transaction is going to be copy view filters as T. Then we're going to start and we're going to commit. I like to use these lock emojis. I'm going to put one here and here. So this is going to be commit and this is going to be start. And it means that all changes have to be here in between, right? All the code that has any changes to your Revit project should be between start and commit, and then it's going to work fine. You could also use try and accept statements, but in this case, I think it's going to be fine. So we created our transaction. Now we can iterate through all the view filters. So I'm going to write for, I don't know, view filter in selected filters. And now we're going to recreate them in all of the views. Actually, also, because we are getting here a list of views, right? We also need to make another loop for view in views to. And then we're going to iterate for filters. So it's a loop in a loop. We're going to go through all the views. And for each of the views, we're going to go through all the filters and recreate them. So now there are a few things we need to do. And we need to copy filters and we need to copy settings. Here's how we're going to do this. Now, to copy filters, we're going to use the view where we want to copy them to. And then there is a method called set filter overrides, I think. We could create filters and then change their overrides. However, when you use the set filter overrides, if filter is not there yet, it's going to add it and it's going to set the overrides. So it's kind of 2 in 1. And in here, we need our view filter ID. And we also need overrides from existing view. Now we need to get these overrides. To get the overrides, we need our view from. And then there is a method called getFilterOverrides. And then we provide the view filter ID as well. So by these overrides, just to be sure, let's just click here. And listen, by the overrides, I mean this section right here for the projection, surface, and cut different lines, patterns, and so on. This is what we are copying. And we are going through each filter one by one. We're copying its overrides, we're copying the filter, and we're moving it to other views. This setting is going to be another step. Actually, halftone is part of the overrides as well. So this is going to be step number 1. And now we're going to do step number 2. We're going to enable filter and use the same visibility. Now, it's right here in the copy settings. And first of all, we need to get them. So we want to get visibility and enable. We're going to use view from. Here's the same. Then the first one is going to be get filter visibility. And it needs view filter ID. And for the second one, it's get is filter enabled. And it also needs view filter ID. All right, so this is going to be both true or false values of the kind of whatever is set at the moment. And now we need to copy them. So I'm going to take view 2. Then there is set filter visibility. And we need 2 values. So first of all, we need our view filter ID. And then we need the value. In this case, we're going to take exactly the same value as it's already set. And for the second one, it's going to be, as you guessed it, it's going to be the same, but instead of get, it's going to be set is filter enabled. In Revit API logic, keep in mind that whenever you see get, blah, 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 usually there's also going to be exactly the same, but with the set, blah, blah, blah. Because this is pretty much just a property, you can get and set it both ways. Not always, but usually that's the logic you can apply. Just one thing, that this one should be actually enable. Otherwise, it's going to be the wrong value. Now, I think I have everything I need. Yeah, so we're getting our views using PyRevit forms, view from, view to. Then we're extracting the current filters, and we're asking the user which filters you want to copy. And then right here, we're kind of creating transaction, so we can make changes. We're iterating for the views, we're iterating for each views through all the filters, and we're just kind of copying everything, copying overrides, visibility, and enable settings. Let's just go to Revit and finally test it. So theoretically, all of the settings from L5 view, we want to bring it right here to L4 view. So let's try to do this. I'm looking for the view L5, that one. And I want to paste it in L4, which is that one. Let's also maybe, I don't know, take all L4 views. Later we're going to check it. Click on select. Now, do you want to select all the filters? Yes, please. Click here. Let's have a look. Line 56, I got an error. List object have no attributes, set filter visibility. You can see it's list, so I typed something wrong. Line 56, it's right here. And this is correct because I used views too. Maybe I'm going to rename a few things. So this list views too, we need to make sure that it's very kind of simple to understand that this is a list of elements. Then I can see this is red, so I use it here. And in this one, we actually want to use that one. Let's call it view 2. So we have to paste it here, here, and here. And I think if I haven't misspelled anything, then everything is correct. Say hi. Okay, so I think we have everything we need. Now we can go to Revit and actually test it. So on Revit, we're going to try again the same thing. I'm going to click on L5. Hello. Then we're going to look for the view L4. Yeah, the same one. So we're going to choose the L4, click on select. Then for the filters, I want to select all filters, and let's click on that one. And you can see all the filters have applied. All right, if if I'm gonna go to the settings and click on filters, you can see now all the same filters A, B, C, D, and E with all the same overrides. We can see the same kind of settings. And even halftone right here, it was also copied. So now we're copying all the filters from between different views, and we can also kind of take all the settings. Now, keep in mind that sometimes you might also have views where you have view templates. Now let's just go to, I don't know, L3, for example. I'm gonna have a look. There's architectural plan already assigned. So this is gonna have already different filters. In the case it's the same, but let's clear it. But it has architectural plan, and here filters, where they are, it's right here, it's activated. Now, if I'm gonna go to filters, it's empty. Now let's see what's gonna happen. I'm gonna take my L5, I'm gonna take the floor plan, then I'm gonna take L3, the floor plan, that one, and click on select. Copy all the filters, and actually, it actually worked. So, apparently we can do that. I did not know that part. So we kind of broke Revit a little bit. To be honest, I expected to get an error message that will tell us that we cannot do that because view template is applied. But you can see in view template, we don't have any filters, but the view actually got them, which could be problematic. So we definitely want to check that. If I remove it, yeah, if I remove the view template, it still kind of keeps the filters, which is fine, but we definitely want to avoid that. Now, we want to change the first step because we're kind of getting views from and to by using this form, and it's a little bit limited. I think there is a filter function or something should be included, but I'm not sure. Instead, I want to make it more flexible. I don't want to rely so much on PyRevit, so I'm going to comment it out. Instead, I'm going to create my own forms by using this select from list. So we're going to copy that one. Let's just paste it here and here. This is going to be view from. Multi-select is going to be false. This is going to be list views to. And this is going to be multi-select true. Here we're going to write select destination views. And here we're going to write select view with filters. Now we need to obviously get all our views. So I'm going to write all views here and here. And now we just need to get the list of views. The way we're going to do this is going to write all views equals, and in there we're going to use filtered element collector. We need to provide document, and listen, it's going to look a very long and scary line of code, but don't worry, it's very simple, and I'm going to explain in a moment. First of all, we create our collector by using the doc. Then with of category, and using built-in category, we can select one of the categories. So let's just search for the views. And let's also break it into multiple lines. Now, the next one is we can filter where element is element type or where element is not element type. I'm going to select that one. And lastly, I want to use two elements. So I have a list of elements. And here is what's going on. It might look a little bit intimidating, but it's actually very simple. And I have a filtered element collector anatomy page in my ebook. In there you can see there are usually 4 steps. First of all, we create the collector. Secondly, we decide do we want to filter by category or class. Then we want to decide do we want to filter instances or types. And lastly, you have an option to convert it to a list of elements or list of element IDs, or you can also get the first element and so on. And that's pretty much it. It might look a bit intimidating, but again, look, I'm going to take the same line of code, just going to change here to walls. Now I'm getting all walls in my project. Isn't it amazing? I can put here anything I want, for example, floors. Now I'm getting all the floors. It's very repetitive. You don't want to get instances, that's okay. You remove that one, now it's going to be only types, as long as you can find with whatever you provided here. It's actually very, very simple to use, and you can reference my ebook and you will understand it immediately. Now, we're getting all views, we're providing it here. However, I'm going to go one step ahead. In here, we get all views and view templates. That's important to keep in mind. And view templates. And actually, it's not a bad thing to know whether you work with view or view template. So we're going to modify that one into a dictionary. So we're going to create here a dictionary. Could make it a dictionary comprehension to write it in one line, but I think it might be a little messy. We will see. Let's call it dictionary views and view templates. Now for view in all views and view templates. Then for the key, we actually need to think about. So I want to see, is it a view template or a view? I also want to see is it floor plan, ceiling plan, and so on, and then the name of the view. Because it's really good to know all of them. So we need to combine these three pieces into one string. We could just write it like this. And in here, for example, that's in the middle is going to be the view name. Then here in parentheses, this is going to be the type of the view. And here in the beginning, maybe in square brackets, this is going to be view template or view. Now we need to get all of that. With format, we're going to provide all these elements. So it's going to be A, B, and C. And A is going to be here, B is going to be here, and C is going to be here, right? This is just kind of easier way to provide it. It's going to be view or template. And it's going to be view. If not, view is template. Or otherwise, it's going to be view template. And this one is going to be our first argument. And okay, guys, I made here if statement comprehension. If you see it for the first time, it's going to be the same as if you would write if not view is template. Then view or view template would be view. Else view or view template would be view template. These two lines are exactly the same. I just combine all of that into one single line, and for me it's more readable because I know how it works. Here I say I want this if this is true. Otherwise, I want this. That's it. And we can also add more if statements, but in general, that's how it works. So let's remove that one. I just want to have it in one line. Now, the second one, we need view name. It's going to be view name. And the last one is going to be view. There's a property called view type. This is going to be returned as floor plan and so on. Now we have our key. We can use dictionary views and view templates. Key equals view. Now, the important thing here is whatever key you're going to create, it has to be unique. Because if you're going to have two same keys, then it means that whenever you're going to add it to dictionary, one of them is going to override the other one. In this case, I know that I'm using view template, and I'm using kind of view types. So there is no way this is not going to be unique kind of key. Now, we're going to take this dictionary and provide it right here, and we need keys. And we don't need that one, because this one is only going to work if we provide the views themselves. But I created a dictionary so I can control my naming. This is going to be our view from. And then we need to do the same, but right here. And I think that's okay. Guys, we need to test it and see what we get, and maybe we need to adjust here something. Because I'm making it on the fly, I did not expect to actually explain this part. But it's also going to be good for you to see how I brainstorm and solve problems. So I'm going to click on that one, and let's have a look what we get. You can see in the beginning we have view or view template, which is great because now I can write view template. Here are a list of view templates. Now I can write view. Here's a list of all views. This is great. And in the end, you can see it's a section, this, that, or whatever else. Maybe it's a good idea to actually put it in the beginning, then it's going to be more ordered. And also, I'm going to make sure that it's ordered. Yeah, let's do that, because now it's a mess. I'm going to cancel it. Obviously, it crashes. That's okay. Let's just get back here, right here. So we're getting our view template. Then I want to have floor plan or ceiling plan and so on. Just make sure you move those things around. And usually when you have this kind of formats, you can also specify this is A, B, and C. Then here you can say this is A, this is B, and this is C. You can even break it into multiple lines. And now it's going to be very obvious. Obviously, A is going to go to the A, B to the B, and you get the point. And also somewhere here, I want to apply sorting. And we also do it here, sorted like this. Now let's just go and test and see how it looks. Oh, this is so much better. Now we have view templates. You can see view template for ceiling, elevation. They are all kind of structured. Now it's easier. I want to have my floor L5. You can see view, floor plan L5. Very simple. But if I select it, I get an error. And in here, you can see it comes from line 43, name. That's, I think, quite expected. This is because of that one. I told you that we cannot use name attribute on a string because we provide here not the elements, but we provide here a list of strings. So we work with kind of different types of elements. So it cannot be there. Let's just test it. I'm going to select random ones, select, and it works. Another one, line 51. This is also obvious. We're trying to get ordered filters, but in here we're actually getting just strings because we're providing here a sorted list of the view names, but we're not getting the views themselves. And we need to address that. So this is going to be selected view name from, and then here's going to be list of selected view names to. I should write it here. Now view from equals, I'm going to get a list comprehension because we have the names. We just need to get the views themselves from the dictionary. So we're going to write dictionary view name for view name in selected view names from. Listen guys, this is a bit confusing because I did not prepare it, so maybe it's not the best formatted. But at least it's gonna work. Let's just copy the same line here. This time I want to make sure we iterate for that one. I'm gonna format it in a moment to make it more readable because I don't like how it looks. It's very unreadable right now. So now we need to convert these kind of strings and list of strings into list of elements and an element. So this is going to be view from, and it's going to be just dictionary. And we want to provide this name right here. And then here it's going to be the same, but it's going to be a list of views to. And this time we need to use list comprehension because we need to do it for multiple kind of elements. We're going to take that one. I'm gonna write here view name, then for view name in list of selected views. Okay, this one looks horrible. Let's just solve it quickly. View from, let's just write selected view from. I'm gonna take all of that. And also maybe that one I'm gonna simplify views from. So this is going to be views from, sorted, blah, blah, blah. Then we use that one, multi-select is false, button is false. Maybe I make it in one line. I think it's going to be much better. And then here it's going to be view from. And now we're going to write this line right here. So the name of this dictionary is also not so great. So we're going to rename it. I'm going to use Alt-J to select all these instances, maybe a few more. And then I'm going to call it dictionary of views. Now, once it's shorter, it's a little bit more readable. This is going to be view from. This is going to be view to. All right, let's just also rewrite the same way. We're going to make that part right here, views to. It's going to be that part. Then selected list views to is going to be that line right here. And we need to make it like that. Also make it in one line. So that one and that one is here. So lastly, list views to is going to be list comprehension. Yeah, I think it's much more readable. That one should be here. Listen, watching somebody refactor code is not always fun, but you can see the difference. I hope so. This is much more readable for me. Oh, that one should be here. Yeah. And also the reason I'm doing that one, because we're going to apply another filter in just a second. I just had an idea, and I think it's going to be great. First, let's just make sure it actually works. So I want to have L5 floor plan, that one. I'm going to copy it to something like L3, I don't know, views, maybe some other. View from is not defined. Now we need to find what's going on. So this is a typo. Here it should be view from. Let's try it again. So we're going to write L5. Then we're going to write L3. I'm going to take that once. So we're getting the filters. Great. And we're actually pasting them. So now it works. And I think if I'm going to search for other L3 views, for example, this ceiling plan, it should have my filters. Great. Also in here, it would be great to, before you're going to add it, to check if these views have filters. You would have to make this change here while you're iterating for the views and you have access to the view. But I'm just going to leave it. It's just for you to know that there is an option for that. But what I'm interested is extracted filters somewhere here for view in list of views. And let's just check if there is a view template applied. If I'm going to go to add-ins, Revit lookup, snoop, active view, there should be a property, something with a template. And it's called view template ID. Let's just copy, and we're going to copy the name. So as you can see, right now it's kind of selected, and it's going to return element ID of another view. And if there would not be any view templates, right, if you're going to remove it, and if there is no view template assigned, then you will see that here's -1. But this is not -1, this is element ID -1, or invalid element ID. So inside the code, we need to do here, if view2, then I copied something like this. We don't need that part, we need just this, the name of the property. Then equal to element ID. You can either use invalid element ID or -1. I like using -1 because that's what you see in Revit lookup. So if there is no view template, then we're going to copy all our filters. However, otherwise, we're just going to print view this has a view template assigned. It will be skipped. And with format, we're going to provide our view2 name. I just write here some kind of emoji like this. Now it's good. So now we only going to execute this if view template ID is -1, meaning that there is no view template. Just go and test it. I'm going to take that one. So I want to take filters from L5 and I'm going to paste it to, let's put it to L2 this time. Click on that one. We want to take all filters and you can see view L2, L2, L2 already has view template assigned. It will be skipped. You can also verify what kind of view template assigned if you want to. Actually, let me show you. Where we are right here. So here I want to write view template equals doc get element. We're going to use that part right here. And then we can also view this has view template this assigned. This is going to be view, this is going to be view template. View equals this and view template equals view template name. I think that's great. Let's just go and test it. L5 is that one. Then we search for L2s. Then we select all the filters. L2 has a view template, area, plan, gross. This one has this view template and so on. Now it's becoming better because now we get actually reporting what's going on with our views. You can also address this and so on, but I think that's okay. Let me just find some L2, the floor plan. I'm going to remove all view templates. You can see there are no color overrides. And now we're going to take from L5. I want to bring my filters to L2. I want to copy all filters. And now we did it. So we're going to go here in filters. We can see we added all the filters. So now you can see that it works. Alright guys, and that's it for this lesson. You saw that sometimes things do not go as planned, we need to test it and we need to see what we are getting. In this case, I had a bug in the end and I decided to solve it in front of you. Alright then, thank you for watching. If you find coding in Revit exciting but you're not sure where to begin or you feel a little bit overwhelmed, then you will love my ebook Beginner's Guide to Revit API. It's a comprehensive roadmap that will show you all necessary concepts and explain with plenty of examples. It's made specifically for beginners to guide you on your programming journey with Revit API and Python. It's free and link gonna be in the description, so download it. My name is Eric Fritz and I wish you happy coding. Goodbye.